You got to stretch. Yeah. What is up, everyone? Whew. I felt nice. I'm Iffy Wisdom, back with another tutorial / over the shoulder look at how I write a song. And in this one, I'm going to show you what happened in between takes / when I lost the footage from when I recorded guitar and bass. So, here in FL Studio, we have the project as we left it. Now, after the 30-minute challenge was over and all was said and done and we were free of time constraints, I decided to go ahead and chunk out the lyrics. But I struggled. And the reason I was struggling is the beat was too boring. So if you recall, this is the beat that we had at the end of the last session. It does have more reverb. And the chorus drums were just a more exciting version of that 4 on the floor. It wasn't anything to write home about, and the reason it was bugging me, in addition to just being a little stale, is that I had this chord progression in 3/4 or 6/8. I wasn't really sure which way I wanted to go with it. I just knew that it would fit over top of either time signature. And so I struggled, but as I was writing the lyrics, I was like, you know what? Constraints be damned. I know that the time is up and the song is done, but I'm allowed to make changes. I'm the producer of the song. And so I changed the drums. And so when I added the vocals, I also added a new set of drums. Now, we're not going to listen to the vocals yet because it would get repetitive if I were to let you to listen to the vocals now, and then when I do the playthrough at the end, there's no suspense or anything like that. So we will talk here in a second about the vocals, though. So I replaced the boring beat, as I like to call it. We went from this which is completely out of context. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds like a bouncing basketball. To this. Now, why are those drums so dry, you might ask? And it's because they're on the master channel. I have been a bad boy and I haven't put them back where they belong. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I believe they belong on channel 3. No, 3. Track 3. Track 3. There we go. So now we have these drums for the verse. And these are the chorus drums. Now, it admittedly changes the vibe of the song considerably. I was talking to the microphone again. It changes the vibe of the song considerably, but it made the lyrics that I came up with work. So, the lyrics that I came up with, I'll show you the lyric sheet here. is, I believe, going to be called Disappear. And the original part that I wrote was the chorus, the "Can I disappear? I just have to turn all my devices off. I want to disappear, but letting go, man, it's rough." I wrote a variation of that, and I do have some video footage of it, I believe, which if I do, I'll try and find a way to edit that in. And what I was referring to by that lyric is I had been thinking earlier that day, today, I'd been thinking earlier today about how, there are people on my friends list, for example, on Facebook that I blocked years ago that I'd forgotten about, and I blocked them for some stupid reason. And there's somebody that I miss now, now that I'm a little older and a little wiser. And I mean, this was years ago, like 10 years ago, and these people are still blocked. And it doesn't make sense for them to be anymore, because I don't care enough to hide any of my life from them, which is what's happening by us not being able to see each other's posts. Not that I think they even care to keep up. It's just like, it feels like you're holding on to a grudge. And there's this old proverb that says, like, he who holds on to anger burns only himself. So holding on to somebody that I blocked years ago, I don't know, it got me all philosophical. And so I wrote this song about just like wanting to disappear from the social scene, because it's to a degree making it possible for this person in the song, who is not me, but this person in the song, has a habit of shooting their mouth off online, which I think a lot of us can relate to and or are guilty of. And so he's wanting to just like withdraw, but like it's tough because he's addicted. And I tried to do that without using the word addict. So I hope that come across in these lyrics. But let's get back to the music. So I added these drums, and the lyrics came out, and then that's when I did about 30 minutes of footage of me noodling around. And as I got to the end of it, I had some sort of interruption here in the house. I got really flustered and I hit the stop button. And then I got mad and I hit the delete button. And I looked in the recycling bin and I just haven't found it yet. So there's still the possibility that there will be a video with the guitar footage of me writing the guitar for this. But there's not much to talk about there. So let's go to arrangement 3. Turn off the mixer because it's a little bit more to deal with. Turn off the channel rack because it's a little bit more to deal with. So after I had recorded the vocals and the new drums, I did the guitar and I did the bass. The guitar is only used in the chorus sections, and by itself it sounded like this. Let me turn off the effects so you can hear it dry and hear what an awful guitarist I am. Then you add in that bass line. It's kind of nice, right? So we add everything back in, and you get this. Excuse me, that's not supposed to be on. So we have that guitar part, and then we have this bass part for the bridge. I wanted this sludgy, muddy sounding bass because what I'm saying in that part of the song is the really hard, honest truth about who this person is. And I didn't want it to feel good to hear. So I wanted something that felt sludgy and dirty. And unfortunately, that means muddy with my talent and what I know how to do as a producer right now. You know, it came out a little muddy, but here's what we have. Now, let's go ahead and actually hear the vocals for that part of the song, because I want to show you what it was that I did with this automation here. So without the automation on, this is what the vocal for the bridge sounds like. Introverted kind of soul shies away from face to face, as you know. As always, adventures outside me in space. Hates his life, hates his face. I thought that was good, but I wanted to try and make it more interesting and, again, feel more unsettling. Because nobody likes to hear that kind of honest truth about themselves. And to be honest, it's kind of uncomfortable to hear that kind of honest truth about someone else. So here's how I interpreted that musically, I guess you would say, is with the format shift and pitch shift. Not a pitch shift, it's a format shift. You'll see what I mean. It sounds like this. Introverted kind of shies away from face to face, as you know. As always, adventures outside space. Hates his life, hates his face. And there you have that. So, with all of these parts put together, you get what I think is not one of my best works, for sure, but it's an interesting story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it is a song that exists, that I had fun making, and hopefully having shown you the tools that you can use to just jump in and start and write something without any clue about what you were going to write when you started. You know, in total, this took me about an hour on guitar and lyrics, about half an hour on recording everything. So you figure 3 hours total. Had a blast, and I got a brand new 3-minute song out of it. And it sounds a little something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this song. Camera's over here right now. This is an If You Wisdom original. I believe I have decided that it is called Disconnect Me. So yeah, enjoy. It's time to see the world.
Cause I've adventures outside space. It's slow.